Welcome back, beautiful people. You're listening to a moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Now, up in a few, we have a My Digital World segment with returning contributor Shahal Khan, CEO of Burkan World and founder of Tempus Network, along with the very impressive Filipino model, cosplayer, gamer, and co founder, CCO of Tier 1 Entertainment, Alodia Gosiengfiao. I know I messed that up, but she's going to correct me. She and Shahal are standing by on deck to chat gaming, crypto, and the future of esports. Now, as cryptos continue to be a global phenomenon, industries all around the world are looking for more ways to incorporate this frankly revolutionary technology into their core products and services. Online gaming, in particular, has become a breeding ground for exciting innovation in this very space. Now, developers are inventing new methods to leverage cryptos to purchase and trade in game products, cosmetics, unlock characters, and much more. The convergence of the virtual and the real, our metaverse, has never looked so good. Video games have considerably evolved in the past few decades. In fact, the global gaming market, which was valued at 174 billion in 2020, is predicted to reach 315 billion by 2026. Now, some of the biggest video gaming companies include Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft, each having gaming revenue of over $10 billion. Sony actually tops the list with a massive revenue of about 25 billion. Now, in a report published by the Worldwide Asset Exchange, it was stated that over 75% of online gamers wanted to exchange their virtual assets for a currency that would be used across multiple platforms. And this is extremely important now. Crypto gaming has grown in popularity largely due to its ability to allow players to collect and trade virtual assets that can be exchanged and traded anywhere in the world. And it has also proven to be a secure and simple way for the gaming industry to earn money. Now, joining us now is Alodia. She is co-founder of Tier 1 Entertainment alongside esports veteran co-founder Trike Gutierrez and co-founder entrepreneur Brian Lim. Now, they fashioned themselves as the first esports talent agency in Southeast Asia, helping gamers turn their passion into actual careers by providing them with platforms to showcase their skills and help connect them with brands. Basically, Asia's premier gaming, entertainment, and esports organization. Welcome to the show, beautiful lady.
Hello, thank you guys for having me. I'm truly honored to be part of this.
Shahal, you don't look so bad yourself. Welcome back.
Thank you, Zen. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you, Alodia. Now, Alodia, you have massive followers on social media in the millions, and Tier 1 has presence in 5 countries across Asia and is probably going to likely be a global brand over the next 5 years. Okay. Alodia, please give us some insight into the vision you had when you co founded this amazing company. And over the past years, I know that Tier 1 Entertainment has created more opportunities in the gaming industry and entering Blacklist International. Talk to me about these two things.
All right, so basically, my personal vision for the company before was just to actually help gamers like me earn a living, support their families through what they love. And apparently, it has grown so much because there wasn't a career back then. And what we do is actually just guide them, provide them with the right foundation and back end, and eventually let them grow into like multi-millions of followers as well and help the next generation. So basically I wanted to form this next generation of top talents with and equip them with the right values, so at least we leave a legacy with them.
You are so well spoken. Thank you for that. And you probably come from very humble beginnings to be so gracious in wanting to share your knowledge and talent that you've amassed it over these years. But I take my hat off to you. Now, Shahal, esports and cryptocurrencies have always been on corresponding trajectories, right? A decade or two ago, the general public wasn't even aware of their existence, yet now they're taking the 21st century by storm. However, there's always been a gap between the two. Esports took the shape of vivid gaming spectacles delivered by a handful of gifted professionals, while cryptocurrencies came from a world of numbers, statistics, and financial transactions. And until recently, it didn't even seem like the two belonged in the same sentence. What do you think is driving this marriage of the two, and why suddenly are we in this cosmic speed of tech and crypto development?
Yeah. Well, Zen, this is a natural progression. Initially, when esports started, it was, you have to pay to get into the games. And then it became games that were free, but then you had to purchase in-game assets and you had to inject capital in. And now what we're seeing is the natural progression to the third level, which is you can actually play and earn. There are more people that are watching esports gaming than there are players. So this is very different than, for example, in-person gaming kind of platforms like X Infinity, where people are actually producing in metaverses characters and then they're selling them onwards and they're trading them like NFTs. This is actually where spectators are participating, as well as people that are playing on platforms that are already famous and created, like Fortnite, for example, are now able to earn while they're gaming. And that's an extremely large universe. That's almost around 2.5 billion people that are involved in watching and playing the major esports platforms in the world today.
Wow, that's phenomenal stuff. I mean, to think about how far we've come, and to have a guest like Alodia from across the world, essentially being able to pipe in on just as much precious knowledge. So, Alodia, I'm gonna send this one back to you. Um, as a gamer, now, one would say that gaming can be seen as the training wheels for the metaverse, the ways you communicate within, so to speak, navigate and think about virtual spaces. That's all based upon mechanics and systems with foundations in gaming. So the allure is obvious, is the relationship between the blockchain, metaverse, and gaming. It totally makes sense. What do you say to this from this visual perspective? Because you are very much an artist, and this marriage of the two.
I think it's about time. Like gaming has evolved a lot over the years. Like we had uh, pay to play, then free to play. Now we have play to earn. So I think since given the pandemic, there's like a lot of opportunity that gaming can actually help people reach more people through gaming. Like earning can actually be done digitally, like farming in game, which was unheard of before. So as gamers, it's natural we are naturally inclined to navigate through the digital space. And I think our task now is just how to educate normal people and actually get them on board in this community, because I think this is really the future.
This is definitely the future. This is what we have been talking about on My Digital World. This segment has become extremely popular within our listeners. Now, Shahal, I'm going to circle back to esports. Okay, many believe that crypto will play a big part in esports, and truly, it seems to be a natural fit for both the esports and gambling industries. And the fast implementation of the technology by businesses is basically proof of that. Not because of its skyrocketing popularity, but because of its unique perks and these seemingly endless, the endless potential in so many different aspects. But most importantly, blockchain could help overcome some of the challenges that the esports industry is currently facing and act as a catalyst for its further growth. In your opinion, what are some of the more immediate challenges that need to be overcome here?
Well, one of the biggest issues that esports had was income generation in order to keep the teams and the players funded to a higher level of engagement. And that cash flow was very small because, once again, you're looking mostly at teams that are virtual representations of actual teams. And we had a great popularity in these teams recently because of COVID, and that was the way that people would be able to further access their love for sports. What's going to happen now is that just I believe, due to the fact that teams can create their own cryptocurrency. They can reward their fans and their players with cryptocurrency. Everybody now gets to have a stake within the actual team. For example, the competition. There can be aspects of collaboration. There can be aspects of teams doing special trivia games. So you can really create monetization and pay your fans as well as your players through a crypto that they're all invested in. And now that becomes a new paradigm of economics that can benefit the entire ecosystem, where before you didn't have that. It was people had to pay in order to participate, and the people that were participating that were not playing were literally the base where advertisers would have to pay the actual platform owners, and that money didn't add up. There wasn't enough cash flow to sustain this. But with this model, it incentivizes everyone to participate, and then based on algorithms of participation, it could pay people out, and people could earn enough money to really feed their families in certain countries. Like for example, in India, where there's over almost 700 to 800 million people that watch cricket, just esports teams in cricket can have a great influence on capital generation within that ecosystem.
Yes,
And
great
same thing.
analogy. That's
Yeah.
a great analogy. We have about 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the segment, and I want to throw this right back to Alodia. And piggybacking off of what Shahal said, now gaming has always been on the forefront of digital ownership, and most agreed upon visions of the metaverse rely upon virtual environments common in games with decentralized digital ownership. Now we're talking about taking games that run on a cryptocurrency network and include it in a complete distributed ledger, which provides players verifiable ownership, like Shahal said, over the virtual products contained in the games. Talk to me about the opportunities that you see for tier one entertainment, knowing full well that now gamers can be so heavily compensated in 2 minutes.
All right, where do I start? So basically, we have like gamers who are also superstars. So they're like celebrities. And if, for example, our IPs create a product, and if it's a very limited edition, the exclusivity definitely will give that crypto or like that NFT a higher value. So that's just one part. And then there's also ways like P2E, like the axes of the world. Like there's so many P2E games coming out right now. So these are the people who actually earn by farming in game, like trading. You also get the cut through trading. And yeah, there's so many other ways to earn through crypto. There's a lot of integration. And the biggest thing about this is it's heavily what do you call it, heavily influenced by the community or the influence. So with gamers, you have like currently we have like 107 million tapped following on Facebook. So if that whole community believes in a cryptocurrency and they all work together to keep this, I guess there's a lot of opportunities for the future in this.
Wise words. Yeah, I envision esports looking like online poker on steroids, given the potential of real money gaming at a grassroots level. Unlikely blockchain could improve and it could improve the competitive integrity and security in esports, and as I see it, democratize esports. But listen, we're almost out of time. We have about 30 seconds left. Shahal, thank you so much for joining. It's always a pleasure having you on My Digital World. Alodia, you have been such an incredible guest. Thank you so much. Now, if you guys are not familiar with her, please check her out on Instagram, social media. She's all over every platform. Alodia Gosiengfiao. Did I say that right?
Yes, thank you.
I
Thank you
did.
so
Thank
much.
you so much for being on. Thank you, Shahal.
Thank you, Zen.
You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I'm your host, Zen Sams. We'll be right back after this.